Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of the Red Devils Corner Kick podcast, a fan podcast dedicated to Manchester United Football Club. As always, like, subscribe, follow, whether you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube. And don't forget to follow on social media, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, or X. As always, thank you to those who have subscribed, have liked, have commented, have done the following. I greatly do appreciate some who have reposted. I greatly do appreciate the support as well. So thank you very much for helping me grow this channel. To those that have been downloading episodes, thank you very much as well. Okay. Hope everyone enjoyed their weekend. I hope everyone's enjoying their start to the week. A few things have come out since we last talked after the post game on Friday. If you've seen the news regarding Infantino and their new idea, don't worry, I'm sharing the same frustrations as you, as many of others as well. So that's something to discuss at another time, because today is, well, as always, it's always about Manchester United. But yeah, obviously the last couple of days, including today, it's kind of been a, how do you say, an upwards, backwards kind of what the fuck is going on type of day. I'm going to start off with Harry Amass news. What the fuck, Ineos? Like, the Glazers too, like, let's repeat the words of Wilcox, Baradas, or Jim. If they haven't been performing in 2 years, why would they still be here? You're still keeping Harry Amass, no, sorry, not Harry Amass. You're still keeping Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw, who has injuries and only shows up when it's the Euros and the World Cup. We've seen that there, and Sir Jim even called him out on it. You have players who are not showing up and are still part of the club. Xerxes, Mount. You have players here who've been here since we've sacked Ollie, Ten Hag, Ruben Amorim, Jose Mourinho. Like, you're bringing back Rashford, who, what's the point of the last 18 months? So, but you're going to sell Harry Amass because the Glazers have fucked the club and put him in debt. Ineos, knowing what the Glazers were doing, still invested in the club and still making things worse. I don't want to make this a bashing episode of the Glazers and everything, but look what's happening now. I am a little frustrated about the Harry Amass potentially sale. I don't want that. I don't. To quote Mourinho, football heritage. We talk about the academy players. We praise the academy, but we don't. We sell them off when we have players who can break in. Harry Amass, we need a left back. Why not grow an academy player? We have Champions League, League Cups, and the Premier League. Why not get a player who can get the time in and play? Why not? Mazraoui is on targets of potentially being sold, but we're going to be selling Harry Amass. Luke Shaw, like I mentioned, the World Cup and Euros, that's the only time he'll show up and be fit. Guess what? He didn't make the World Cup this year, and guess what? He's only good for once a week. Let's be honest. He's good for once a week. And unfortunately, you want to still sell Harry Amass. Lewis Hall, there's no engagements or anything being done. So that's there. We know they're not going to go for that. Unless you're trying to make a play for Calavinga and Tukamini, but like you're really sailing, you're really soaring high to the sun if you're going for that and hoping for it. There's the bid going in for Alex Scott, £35 million. Like, or not Alex Scott, Adams. Like, what's going on there with that? Like we're at that point where there's nothing here. Like, it's sad. It is. Like, I don't want a young player like Harry Amass going. I like what he's done. I like what he did at left back. I like what he did with Ruben Amorim when Amorim started. He is a good player there. Like, we talk about the academy and the growth. The only one that we've had that's been somewhat decent is Kobe Mainoo, and well, I've given my opinions about him over the last little bit. But like Ineos and all of them have said, if you've been here for 2 years and haven't really done much, then it's time for you to go. Below, I'm throwing Bruno in there, Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw, 4 players right there. To be fair, you should be dumping them. I don't know why. Like Harry Maguire, yes, he's coming for certain things, but you extended his contract. Like we need, like he like right now, yeah. You extended the contract. Like Bruno, as much as I love him, we haven't done much. We're not doing anything. We're still failing when you're bringing back Marcus Rashford. Like, what steps are being done? The messes and everything that has been there is, yeah. I mentioned too, I'm okay with overspending as long as the talent matches with the actual equal to what we're getting. I don't want to overpay like an Anthony or Rasmus or other players in the past, Onana. We don't want to be overpaying for that. But we want to be paying for the talent that goes with the funds. And unfortunately, Ineos and the Glazers don't have, like, they don't want to spend it. They don't. They just want to work on their balance sheet. You want the Premier League in 2 years. Selling youth like this is not one of them. That's not how you get to it. You won't, like, you want talent, but you're not willing to spend for it. The reason why we have Santos and Tielemans wasn't because you're dealing, is because Ederson deal was screwed up. There was a panic there for two. Nothing against those two players. They are there and they got deals with them, which is great. Santos is going to grow, but you got them because there was a panic now that you had to catch up. And I'm sure there was something with the financial books there too, because Ederson would have went towards the books for last season probably. So you wanted to get that in. So right now we're in a situation where there's a problem. There is. You're looking at getting rid of youthful players. Yes, I am upset with it because we complain about how the academy isn't producing anything, but we're selling the players that we know that can produce, that can help out with the club in the future. We're not at the stage to win the Premier League this year, and we're not going to be at the stage to win it in 2028. We're not. Unless Ineos and the Glazers decide to sell their shares to someone who can pay off the debt and just get us back to football. But we're not. We're not. I know like people are talking about all the balancing of the books and whatever. Listen, I'm okay for responsible spending. But like I just said, if you're willing to spend the money to get the player that equals to the transfer value, then yes, go for it. But the thing is here, you're negotiating with Bruno to extend his contract to get him more funds, but you're not willing to back our captain or our manager, who, by the way, our manager is a puppet. It's the truth. The reason why, and you know what? That's the funny thing is, and I'm going to say it here, Cunha and Mbuemo said they came to United for Ruben Amorim. They said that. They did say that. De Zerbi, Zabi, there are players going to them that want to play for them. Can we take a moment there and realize that? There are players out there that are willing to play for those guys because they have control. Those guys want to go play for them. And I think I've said this before. Who wants to play for Michael Carrick after the shit show that's been going on? And I say this now because it's coming up on 2 years since we fired Ten Hag and went through that shambles of, like the last 2 years at Manchester United have been a joke. Realistically, now when you look at it here at the finish, it's been a joke. Nothing against Ruben for what he did. I was pushing for him to stay and be the manager. I will call out the fan base to say what they are. They're impatient and weren't willing to back up the manager. Yes, a manager can be stubborn and want to be set in his ways, but the world wanted a manager to have that there because they complained about Ten Hag not having his system, not using his system, and we brought in a manager to bring in the system. You didn't like what he was doing with Kobe Mainoo. Guess what? Kobe Mainoo just showed himself as well when it came to the England squad. Like, what? Like, the future of United is questionable. The season now is questionable with the way this transfer season's going. We have no sales of players. Whether there's speculation of Juventus and Xerxes, Rashford to Barcelona. We have to give up those. We can't sell those players, but we have to give up Harry Amass to generate funds. So I'm going to say it. They're fucking the future. for players that Xerxes should have been sold last year. Obviously, there's limitations and problems because of we didn't have a proper striker, because obviously Rasmus went to Napoli and so on and so forth, and Xerxes had to stay one more season. But now we're in year 3. Xerxes has potential to be sold. We're still waiting on what's going on with Sesko's injury. There's talks of Ollie Watkins coming in. But we need to start generating sales, and it has to be from the players that we need to sell. Obviously, losing Ugarte sucks, but we're getting him covered for the year. We can potentially sell him next year. We need to make sales. We do. We need to make sales. Obviously, Mount can't be sold because the writing is there. I don't care about the spin of, he could potentially be. If you're dumb enough to believe that, you believe that we're winning the Premier League in 2 years. I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry for that. Like, I don't believe we're winning the Prem in 2 years. We're not. We're not winning in 2028. And like, you're believing that what Ineos is doing is right. I hope I'm proven wrong at the end of the day, but like, I really don't think we're going to be there in 2028 winning the league. I really don't. They're not willing to spend to get us to keep us in Champions League. They're not willing to spend to let us try and get back to Champions League, but they'll spend when we have to try and fight back the season before. You want trophies. Sir Jim came out and said you want 2 trophies for this year. Well, you have to spend to bring those players in to get those trophies. We need to spend to get the players in. The funds that Ineos paid to get in here should have been used to pay off the debt. But the Glazers don't want to do that. Ineos didn't want to do that. So on and so forth. We know what's there. We know what's going on. But realistically here, looking at this transfer window, looking at the sale of a youth player, and we're keeping players here. And I didn't want to make this a bashful episode because I wanted to talk, like, and everything's holding it. Like, again, we're still waiting on another midfielder. We're still waiting on a striker. I would love to have Danny Welbeck back. I really would. There's the talks of Ollie Watkins coming in to be the backup for Sesko, which I'm perfectly fine with. But how are we paying for it? We're not generating any funds. You brought back Marcus Rashford, who's not willing to take a pay cut and go. He's not going to go until the end. Like, this is what's going to happen again. This is what's happened in years past. And right, we're going through the Woodward and such, like the old days. It's going to be like the final 2 weeks of the window, and we're going to bring players in that are not ready. They're not going to be ready to be, like, they're not going to be getting the preseason in to get themselves there. Like the advantages of Tielemans, Santos. Like, Santos is in, he can train and go through the preseason. He's going to get those reps in. Great. Tielemans should be coming in soon. Bruno should be back. We're going to have players coming in, getting familiar with, but we need a left back. But I don't want to sacrifice Amass because, again, he's a player that can be there for depth. We need depth. Use our academy for depth. Not for starters, but for depth. Toby Collier can be used for depth. Remember, Champions League, Prem, 2 cups. You're going to need those players there to play. We are. We're going to need it. So, looking at it here, we're kind of SOL'd right now because we're not getting players in to help manage the squad. We're not getting players in to help grow the squad. We're getting rid of players who are the future of this club and so on and so forth. But like we're at the point where like we're going, like, listen, I was naive at the beginning when Ineos came in. I thought, okay, they're going to get things organized, get everything right. And I fell for it. I'll be honest. I said I fell for it. I was looking forward to it. Hopefully, especially when they were said they were given control of everything, I fell for it all. But yes, they've done good things, but they've done some really bad things. Last summer cannot make up for what all the bad things they have done. What they've done for the managerial thing over the last 2 years has been horrible. Nothing against Ruben Amorim. It's just and even sporting director, everything that's gone on for them to try and operate their football operations has been horrible. And I mentioned it last week that it will be cheaper for them to sack Carrick than it is to properly back him, which, from what it's looking like, it's looking at it here. They're not willing. I don't think they're going to go for Scott. The bid's going in for Adams. There's no talks on Lewis Hall. I'm not betting on Tukamini Calavinga. I think that's just a spin because Rodri hasn't been official yet to Real Madrid, even though there's speculation of it. You can talk about Ollie Watkins all you want with us. So right now we have 4 or 5 weeks left of this window, and there is so much speculation that there's nothing going on. The Kone deal has 4 days left. They have until Friday to get Kone done, or at least Roma has till Friday to sell him to us. Allegedly. We'll see how that goes. So right now, it's a mess. It really is. And it all started off, like, literally, it didn't anger me that they're looking to sell a youth player like this. And I'm sticking up for not selling that youth player. It is. Like I would like to keep Vidic, but obviously with he wants to be a starter, and obviously having Lamens there, it is tough. But Amass can break in and start. Luke Shaw is not going to be healthy all this season. He's not. He's not the same player that he was. And you're looking to sell Mazraoui, which sucks. It does. It sucks that you're choosing players who have been injured. Like, the thing is, too, people are criticizing Lissandro Martinez for being injury prone when Luke Shaw has been a triathlon athlete. Like, should we go back to what happened with Ten Hag and like all this stuff? Like, Luke Shaw got himself healthy for the Euros and not the club. His heart is not with the club. His heart is with the paycheck that the club gives him, and he gets paid injured or not, whether he's on the field or not. So, like, Luke Shaw is still here. He needs, like, in all fairness, he should be going. Like, I love Bruno. Like, I do follow the Portuguese national team. I support them. I've supported them since I was a kid. But like, even then, I'm at the point where I think we just sell Bruno. I really do. I am. Like, I love Bruno, but like, we can't just have one player focus on to try and get everything going. Especially if Michael Carrick wants to do more possession-based controlling of the game. You have to get players in to do that, and unfortunately, the players that we have that don't. This is transition players. I really didn't want this to be like an angry, bashful episode, but it's just it's going to madness. Yeah, and there's talks of them going for Conceição. Yeah, they're in talks with him. Liverpool are monitoring whatever. RB Leipzig. However, Juventus are standing firm, demanding bids north of £40 million. Just open talks with son of legendary Sergio. I don't want Amass to leave. United could reportedly cash in the young star, Summer, left back. We need a back. We do. We need him to stay, and I don't want to do a buyback clause. I want him to stay. If anything, you send him out on loan, or you bring him in. They're Conceição. Alex Scott twist. What's going on with that? United have encountered another complication in their chase for Bournemouth. Alex Scott. Is Chelsea considered next move? Cool. Great. We're competing with Chelsea, and you know what? He'll probably go to Chelsea. Welbeck to United transfer request. The next player. Ferdinand has urged Welbeck to snub Chelsea in favor of sensational return to Manchester United. United Academy graduate in dialogue with Blues. Yeah, he's going to want to go and be managed by Alonso. I don't blame him. like Welbeck has played for United. He knows what's going on here. He knows the truth. United in advanced talks with Juventus. Loan move, which also includes a 30 million option to buy from the Italian side. Okay. But the strikers have like this is what I'm meaning here. Like you're setting expectations and nothing is there. And then Amram made a message today. Amram has sent a transfer message to former club United over the future of Rafael Leao. United are one of the clubs who have been linked with interest to AC Milan man this summer, although Fenerbahce are also. Calavinga transfer fee. Like, that's what I think United are going to try and do. They're going to try and go for a package. And this is the one thing, too. Like, you're relying on a deal that has to happen first. You're relying on a deal that you think would work. Tukamini has been credited with interest in Real Madrid and as well as Calavinga. The Guardian reports the midfielder would cost a fee in the region of 50 to 60 million euros, which is about 42.8 to 51.4 million pounds. So I'm wondering if they're going to go for the pair. Like, but you need to hope that Rodri is sold to them and that they actually are willing to sell. Former United fullback Danny Simpson has been told to the club to sign a center back. Yeah. Mateus de Ligt gets injured a lot. Mateus de Ligt, and I said this too. Mateus de Ligt had a freak injury, and I mentioned this before. A back injury is something not to screw around with. Because the smallest thing can make it worse. It can. The back is it is fragile. It is fragile enough that it can go, and it does suck that it happened to him. But that being said, like De Ligt should not be sold. Having him come back and Licha not injured, like he's expected to play. So, yeah, Amram admitting his mistakes. Everyone is. Ruben Amorim lives rent-free in many United fans that just want to keep going after the guy. And to be fair, just leave it alone. He's gone. He's not our manager. We've moved on. And you're going to see some mistakes happen with this ownership because of what they've done in the last 2 years. Yes, Tyler Adams is in this conversation. Yes. Bournemouth are said to dismiss claims that they would be willing to sell the United States International for £35 million. However, it is reported seen as a cheaper option than the likes of Tukamini, Calavinga, and Manu Kone. Okay, that's so. It's not. I'm not liking this. I'm not liking what's going on now. I don't. It's not the best. It's just not right. Like what is going on right now, and it's bothering me. It is, and I don't want to give up the future. If you're going for something like Harry Amass can be contributing in the next 2 years, he can be contributing this season. Like he could be like, for all we know, in a couple of years, like 2 years, Harry Amass is our starting left back. But in these 2 years, he's getting minutes to develop into that. Again, we have no solution now, and they're willing to sell Mazraoui. So why not like keep Mazraoui, use Amass? You have Diego Dalot because you're not getting rid of Dalot and you're not getting rid of Shaw. So you have your 4 left backs there. He has shown what he has done, and we've seen him play in Europa games. We've seen him play in Premier League games. We've seen him do well in the Championship. Time for him to come out and develop. Let him start playing with the first team. So let's Yeah. So it's check anything else here, any updates in the transfer news. But we're not raising any funds. But that's the reason why that's the worst part is we have to create funds because we have players here who can't be sold. So, well, it's just a matter of, so yeah, and we can try Calavinga, we can try Tukamini, like it's all spin. It's all they're all going they're soaring high towards the sun. They're going Icarus right now. They're soaring high, hopefully that they're going to catch something. But as of right now, they haven't sold any players. They haven't generated any funds unless it's from sell-on clauses. So this transfer window continues to get worse. Harry Amass must stay. It's the truth. Don't sell Amass for your failures. So. I'm going to leave that there for today. Most of it, all my stuff, updates brought to you by some of the Manchester Evening News, The Guardian, stuff that I followed through. Listen, it's up and down. We can't sit here and hope that we get everything that we want. Because one, this club won't pay. They're going to try, I'm sure they're going to try and do a double deal with Real Madrid. Because I believe, let me just check here. Too many cords by my computer. Oh, no. Another cord here. Let's just check one thing here. I'm sorry. I don't know why I was thinking. Sorry, Camavinga. I don't know why I keep saying Calavinga. Yeah. And he's played left back too. Deployed effectively in emergency or tactical situations by Real Madrid and the French national team due to speed and tackling spatial awareness. Yeah, he's mostly a midfielder. So Camavinga, yeah, that's the thing. Yes, Camavinga can play left back. So that's the one thing too. Like that's what I think they're going to try and do. They're going to try and go and do a double deal. That's what I think Ineos and the Glazers are going to do, because you can do two at once. You can try and make a deal. You can try and make a sale. But we need to generate sales. We're going to be in the negative sale this year. I don't know what that's going to do for our PSR or whatever for next year. But we need players. We need to sell players. All those players that we had targeted, Ugarte, Rashford, Xerxes, you need to sell those players to generate funds, because we are screwed if we don't have any funds. So, but yeah, I'll be back Thursday catching up on some stuff. Saturday we're playing against Atletico Madrid, so I'll have a episode out late Saturday for that as well. As always, like, subscribe, follow YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and as well as follow on social media, Instagram, TikTok, or X. Let me know what you think. Like, as always, subscribe, follow. Let me know what you think about the deal with Harry Amass, the transfer window. It's, again, I know usually sometimes I'm all over the map as well. Also, live episodes will be coming soon, I hope, as well as discussing that as well as planning out my season. So I will have live episodes of the season. But yes, enjoy your rest of your Tuesday. Enjoy your week. I'll talk to you guys on Thursday. This is the Red Devils Corner Kick Podcast. Glory, glory, Man United.